We'd been together 3 years, lived together for one, had routines, groceries, shared bills, joint playlists. Everything looked stable from the outside, but he was good at that, building something that looked solid while keeping just enough distance to escape if it cracked. He never let me near his phone, said it was a boundary thing, claimed he hated people who snooped, said, "If you need to check my phone, we've already got bigger problems." That line worked for a while. I wanted to be the cool girlfriend, the chill one, the one who trusted. The first time I heard her name, it was casual. "She's just my barber." He said it like it was ridiculous to even question it. Said she was married, said she was professional, said she was the only person who ever cut his hair right. That part I believed. He was picky about his appearance. Vain, but subtle about it. Always acted like he didn't care, but never left the house looking less than perfect. Once a month, like clockwork, he went to her. Same barber shop, same day of the week, always in the afternoon, and every time the same signs showed up. He'd shower before the appointment, not after. He'd wear cologne, sometimes a button-up, even though he worked remote. I asked once, "Why do you dress up to get your hair cut?" He said, "I don't. You're just noticing weird stuff." That should have been the first red flag, that he flipped it on me. But I let it go. Until one day, I passed by the shop by accident. I wasn't trying to check up on him. I was going to meet a friend across the street. But I glanced through the glass just out of curiosity, and I saw him, not sitting in the chair, leaning over her counter. She was laughing at something he said, smiling. His hand brushed hers when she gave him change. It wasn't anything blatant, nothing you could call proof, but it was enough to make my stomach flip. He didn't see me, and I didn't tell him I'd seen anything. I just waited. Next appointment, same thing. He took extra time to pick an outfit, changed his shirt twice. Spent 20 minutes fixing his hair before going to the person whose literal job was to fix his hair. When he came back, he looked happy, light, relaxed in a way I hadn't seen in a while. I asked how the haircut went. He said, "Same as always, you're overthinking again." That word, again, might stuck in my ribs. Like I had a history of paranoia. Like this was a me problem. That night, while he slept, I checked his phone. I'd never done that before. He didn't change his passcode. Maybe he didn't think he had to. I went to his messages. Nothing, then Instagram. Nothing obvious. Until I checked archived stories and found her. Selfies from the shop. Captioned, "Look who stopped by, not tagged. Not shared, but saved." I clicked her profile. It was private, but the bio had her business link, a booking system, with appointment availability. So I made a plan. I used a fake name. Not cartoon fake, just real enough. Created a new email. New number with a free app. Changed my profile photo to someone else's shoulder. Booked a wash and trim. Not much. Just enough to sit in the chair. Waited 3 days. Walked in with sunglasses on, hair pulled back. Nothing too familiar. She smiled when I entered, but it wasn't the kind of smile you give a stranger. It was the kind you give someone you already know. I told her my fake name. She didn't blink. Offered me a seat. Started washing my hair. Started asking small questions. Where I worked. How long I'd been in the city. Nothing suspicious. Until she said, "You remind me of someone." I didn't reply. She added, "You dating anyone?" I said, "Yeah. His name's Nathan." Her hands paused for half a second. Just half a second. Then kept going. She said, "Cute name." The rest of the haircut was silent. Until I stood up to pay, she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "You should talk to him about honesty." I didn't say a word, just tapped my card. Walked out, sat in my car with the engine running for 10 minutes. And that's when it hit me. He wasn't hiding her from me. He was hiding me from her. I didn't say anything when I got home. He was sitting on the couch, laptop open, half watching some documentary he didn't care about. He looked up, said, "Hey," like nothing was wrong. I looked at his face, his freshly cut, smug, calm face, and said, "Hey, back." He had no idea, no clue I'd sat in her chair that morning, that I'd let her rinse my hair and press scissors to my neck, That she looked me in the eye and basically admitted she knew. He was too confident for that, too used to getting away with it, too used to me not pushing. I didn't confront him. I studied him. He ordered sushi that night, made a whole scene about how he missed this, how we needed to connect more, how work stress had been killing his mood lately. He said he was glad we were in a better place. I watched him say it, like he was proud of himself for steering the ship. The next morning, I took his car. He always used mine, so I said mine needed gas, and I just run errands in his. He tossed me the keys without thinking. I waited until he left for the gym, opened the glove box, and found what I was looking for. A second phone. Not a burner, not a sketchy flip. Just an older iPhone, still charged, no passcode. I don't know if he forgot it was there or just didn't care. Maybe he thought I'd never bother to look, that I was still too chill for that. There were only a few apps on it, no social media, just text, photos, calendar, and one message thread that told me everything. Her name wasn't saved, just a number. But the messages. You were amazing today. I missed this. I hate sneaking around, but I'd do it again in a second. She's been weird lately. Might be catching on. He meant me. She responded like she always had something more to give him. Like he was her secret, her prize, her risk. They weren't just hooking up. They were deep in it. Photos, screenshots, complaints about me. Long threads where he played the victim. Said I was distant, said I didn't understand him, said she was the only one who really got him. And she fed off that. Believed it. Told him she'd wait. Said she didn't care how long it took, just as long as they'd be public eventually. I closed the app, put the phone back. Didn't say a word. That's when I knew I wasn't going to blow this up. Not with a fight, not with a screaming match. I didn't want closure, I wanted consequences. So I started planning. So, step 1, documentation. I took photos of every message, every timestamp, screenshotted her contact info, took down his booking history from her site, matched the days to his calendar, built a timeline so clear it couldn't be denied. Step 2, distance. I started moving money into a new account, quietly, piece by piece. We weren't officially joined financially, but I paid for more than I should have. That stopped immediately. I canceled the streaming accounts. Changed the grocery deliveries to one-person orders. Started coming home later than usual. Gave him nothing to notice but enough to feel off. Step 3, exposure. I created a new IG account. Blank, private, anonymous. I used a photo from his car as the profile picture. Something generic but familiar. Then I messaged her. Do you still think she doesn't know? She responded 5 minutes later. Who is this? I said nothing else. I just posted one thing to the story, a selfie. From my appointment, in her chair, her in the background, my face fully visible. 10 seconds later, oh my God. How long have you known? Why didn't you say anything? Still, I said nothing. She blocked me. Didn't matter. I wasn't done. Final step, control. I waited until his next appointment, Thursday, 3 p.m. I watched him walk out the door, didn't say a word. He came back 2 hours later, face pale, eyes quiet. No haircut. He didn't speak for a full hour. Then he asked me if I'd been doing anything weird lately. I asked what he meant. He said, she canceled on me. Said she's taking time off. I nodded. Weird. He asked if I'd said anything to her. I said no. You told me not to worry about her, so I didn't. He looked at me for a long time. I looked right back, and in that silence, he finally understood. She knew. I knew. He had no one left who believed a word he said. After that Thursday, he was different. Not angry, not apologetic. Just cautious, like he was waiting for something to happen. Like he thought a bomb had been planted, but he couldn't figure out when or where it would go off. He became quieter, jumpier, spent more time in his room checking his phone, started locking it, changed his passwords, but it was already too late. He didn't know how much I knew, and I wasn't going to tell him. He tried to reset the rhythm, started making dinner more, asked if I wanted to go out that weekend, acted like nothing had shifted, like we were still fine. I smiled, said, sure, agreed to everything, let him believe it was fixable. Meanwhile, I was already gone. The apartment was still full of my things, but emotionally I'd cleared out. I didn't need proof anymore. I had peace. I didn't need revenge. Just release. I didn't want him to hurt. I just wanted him to realize he'd never have access to me again. Not the version he broke, and definitely not the one who rebuilt. He asked me once during dinner if I'd noticed he hadn't been to the barber shop lately. I said, I thought you said it wasn't that serious. He didn't respond. That night, I finished packing the last of what mattered. Clothes, hard drive, passport, documents, keys. Everything else could be replaced. I scheduled a pickup with a courier for the following morning. They'd collect the rest once I was gone. He slept through it all. Saturday morning, I left. No note, no scene. Just a file sitting on his laptop, the one I knew he never logged out of. The file was named groceries.xlsx, something boring enough that he wouldn't ignore it. Inside was a single folder, not yours. Inside that folder, the screenshots from her chair, the chat logs, the archived photos. A final document titled, You Should Have Let Me Worry. It wasn't an essay, not some poetic breakdown of everything he did wrong. Just one page. Date by date, lie by lie, receipt by receipt. Everything he thought he got away with. Preserved, labeled, and organized. No anger, no drama. Just proof. Because men like him don't respond to confrontation. They spin it, gaslight it, call it emotional, call you hysterical. They need silence, need consequence without explanation. So that's what I gave him. The last thing I did was block his number, and then I walked into my new apartment. Small, clean, paid for in full. No joint accounts, no controlled routines, no more wondering what he was hiding in the spaces I couldn't see. I never posted about the breakup, never told our friends. I didn't want pity, I wanted disappearance. I wanted him to have to come up with a reason why I was just gone. The barber blocked him. I know that because I checked. Once. And saw her post a quote to her story. She sat there quietly, planning her exit, while they thought they were still in control. It didn't feel like it was about me. It felt like it was about all of us. Every woman who smiled while packing the truth. Every woman who didn't yell but documented. Every woman who didn't stay to be proven right, just gone.